How to start wholesaling with no money. How do you do it? Well, I got good news for you. Wholesaling does not involve investing a lot of money. You need to invest a little bit, mostly in the learning aspect and then in the doing aspect, but it's not a cash investment. So with wholesaling, you're typically putting something under contract and you don't have to put a lot of money down. These wholesaling deals are generally not made through real estate agents. I would say they're never made through real estate agents, probably a better way to put it. You're talking with someone, one-on-one over the kitchen table or on the phone, and they don't know what they're doing. So you can, as a legal matter, you can put a property under contract by just having the promise to buy it. So as they taught me in law school, the promise to do something is enough to support a contract. So it doesn't need to have money down. It can say something simple as for $1 another good and valuable consideration. So it's not about money. What wholesaling is about is being able to find good deals. So I think where you should make your investment is learning from someone who really knows how to market and get those properties and learning the mechanics of doing wholesaling. There are lots of good courses out there. I have an acquaintance of mine named Jason Palisar, I think has a really good course. I got to know him a little bit, so I went through his course and I thought, wow, this is really good, really smart, good advice. Could be him, could be any number of other people. But what you really need to learn is how to locate sellers that want to sell, not for the maximum price, but they just want to sell the property. And just an example of this, I had a buddy of mine who was an estate attorney. They used to send me real estate deals from time to time to give out to my clients because I have lots of real estate investor clients as an attorney. And when he had a deal that he just needed to get rid of, he would call me up and say, you got any clients for this? And I'd talk to him. And inevitably, there were great deals. And the story would be some version of this. I have an estate. The last thing that needs to get done is we need to sell this property. The property is not in very good condition, so I can't give it to a realtor because they're not interested in it. So it's got to go to a real estate investor. And so you call me because I was sort of an entree to real estate investors. And I would give my best clients the best deals. And that was what I did. And I didn't wholesale it to them. I wasn't making money. It was just their lawyer just finding them a deal. And of course, they'd hired me for lawyer work, so that was all good. But you want to establish relationships like that where you're going to be getting good deals coming into you naturally. And you also need to be able to force those deals to come into you by knowing how to find sellers that are motivated and that want to sell where their goal is not the highest price. Their goal is to get rid of a property, and that is their goal. And there are people who are in that position. They're out-of-town owners. Sometimes it's people like they've had a rental property and it's just been like destroyed by a tenant and they've just had it. You know, they moved out of the area. It's one rental property they have and they're just done. And that's a person where, you know, the price is not the thing. The getting rid of the headache is the thing. And wholesalers get to be experts at sniffing those situations out and giving that property owner a solution to get rid of it. The numbers that you need to meet as a wholesaler is you need to get a property. If you're selling to fix and flippers, which is usually who you're selling for, they need 30 to 40% off retail minus the fix-up cost. So if you're talking about a $200,000 house, they want to buy it for somewhere between 60% of retail, so $120,000, to 70% of retail, which would be $140,000, minus your fix-up cost. So if it was, you know, a $40,000 fix-up, most they want to pay is $140,000 minus $40,000 fix-up. Most they want to pay is $100,000. So if you can get that property under contract for say $90,000, you get a $10,000 assignment fee all day. You get a $10,000 assignment fee. And your job is to find those amazing deals, because for the men and women who are flipping properties, their biggest bottleneck in their business is pretty much always the same thing. That's finding those really good deals. They can be hard to find, they take a lot of work, and they are thrilled when you can find the deal for them, and that is your key to success. What you don't need is a lot of money to do this other than your money for marketing. So invest your money in a really good course and learning, you know, how to get the good deals, and that is going to be your key. And the other thing I would say to you is that wholesaling, you can also increase your money if you do something called prehabbing, which basically means you clean out the property, get rid of anything that's smelly and nasty, do a little bit of light landscaping, and you'll get the most money out of your wholesale buyers in doing that. So do that and make sure that you're working with strong buyers. So do things like go to your local foreclosure auctions talk to the people that are actually buying properties because they're proven performers, and see, if they're interested in working with you as a wholesaler. When you drive around town and you see signs that, we buy houses for cash, we buy houses any condition, cash offer today for your house, call that number on that sign, because those are people that are actively looking for deals, and they're not against working with wholesalers, because typically the biggest bottleneck in their business as a fixer and flipper is finding the good deals. And you can be the source for that, which builds the space for you at the table. And money is not the thing that holds wholesalers back. It's not having the knowledge on how to find the good properties. Wholesaling is one of the lower cost options. The other thing I'll just say, and this may be a little self-serving, but I'll just tell you because you need to know about it. I'm in a business called Overages, where I help people that have lost properties at foreclosure auctions get back big lump sums of cash. In some ways, it's similar to wholesaling in the sense that you don't need cash for this business because you're simply helping people get money that's held by the government, and you get a percentage of it. So I think anybody who's interested in wholesaling would be interested in that. If you want to know more about that, I'll put a link down below to my intro to the Overages Business video. It's 15 minutes here on YouTube, and you can learn more about that business. I think that might be something you're interested in. But no matter what you do, I would just want to tell you, I wish you the best success with it. I think wholesaling is a wonderful way to start out your real estate investing career. It's a good way to get involved in the market, good way to start making some money. And if you're good at it, you can make great money. And it can be your definite stepping stone into greater levels of involvement, where instead of wholesaling a great deal that you found, you're going to do the deal. Maybe the work is within work that you can do. Maybe it's really landscaping and painting and some new appliances. You're like, I can handle that. And if you've made money with wholesaling, that puts you in a position to do that. So it's a great stepping stone to doing that. And again, it's not about the money. It's not about your credit, because as a wholesaler, you're never borrowing money for these things. So I think it's a really, really great way to start. And if I were, say, a young person, like when I started in real estate, I was in my 20s. If I was back there again, I would look at wholesaling. I didn't know anything about it back then, never heard of it. I don't even know if it was a thing back then. I'd also certainly look at overages. I think overages is dynamite. That's why I do that business today. But either way, you're on to the right track. Is probably the thing I want to convey to you the most. You're on to something that can be really good. It's a stable business. This is a good business, and definitely something that you can make something out of. So go get your education. Get out there, start mucking it up, because every great business person, businesswoman with a great business started out maybe not knowing much about it, just having an idea and going and being brave and doing it. And the rewards are definitely to the brave action taker. So be a brave action taker so that you can get the rewards. And if you have more questions, more things you'd like to learn, please put comments and questions down below. My staff and I we gather these things, we categorize them, we try to group them together. And I'd love for next time I'm doing a video and looking at this camera, I'd love to be recording a video that answers a question that you have. That would make me really happy, and wouldn't that be cool? We can make that connection. So put your questions down. I'll get to all of them that I can to, and hopefully the next one I get to will be yours. So thanks for being here today. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want more about these topics of wholesaling and prehabbing, rehabbing, and flipping and all that stuff, then definitely subscribe to my channel and you'll learn more about it. So next thing to do, if you want to know about overages, click on the link below. Other than that, I will see you next time.